Hello again, it is me, Kaylin, for the Sockness Spice Hour this week. And today I want to cover a topic that I have been on both sides of the coin. It comes to interviewing. So I get a lot of questions, as well as I also assist folks when it comes to interview prep, to make sure that you're really putting your best foot forward when getting an interview and in the actual interview, to make sure that there aren't any hidden distractions that take away from who you are and what you're selling, which during an interview, what you're really selling is yourself. And we want to make sure you're in the best light. So today I wanted to talk on behalf of the interviewee, and then next week I'll talk about some tips and tricks for folks who are doing the actual interviewing. Because both sides have different aspects that they can improve upon to be good at either side of the role. So let's jump right in. My first tip for when you're going to interview is punctuality. Be on time. If not, my philosophy is a little bit early, but regardless, make sure you're on time. If there's an extenuating circumstance or if you are running late for whatever reason, it doesn't hurt to call. Always have that information on hand and ready just in case something were to come up. It's much better that you call and you notify a manager or HR or a sourcing specialist or a recruiter that you're running late. It puts you in a better place for rescheduling the interview. Now, if it becomes a habit, managers and HR can start to see that and equate it to your work ethic. If you're going to constantly need to reschedule and do no-show for interviews, what does that say about your work ethic should you get the job? So always be on time. And if for whatever reason you're not, give as much advance notice as possible, but make sure you at least give notice. Don't just no-show, no call, and then contact the person the next day and apologize for it. You've already got that bad taste put in their mouth, and it's very hard to get rid of that. This leads me to my second point, which is what you don't say during an interview speaks volumes. I thought it was witty, the title. However, body language is so important. There have been countless interviews that I've conducted, as well as that I've worked with people going to and giving feedback after, that the main points that were being discussed weren't relative to the actual questions and the information being given. Folks could have the perfect answer to a question, but the way it's being presented to the person interviewing is in a manner that suggests lack of enthusiasm for the job in general. It's just a lack of passion. And nowadays, with so many roles being driven by that passion for folks who want to succeed in those, managers are looking a lot harder on how folks are presenting themselves. Now, I'm not trying to tell everybody to go to an interview and be, wow, I want the job, I want the job, I want the job. However, simple tools such as facing the person who's speaking with you, not being, cheated and kind of talking like this if you have a panel interview, face each person as you talk with them. Eye contact, it's a simple fix, and I know for some of us, eye contact might not be the easiest thing to do naturally, so practice. I've gone as far as practicing in the mirror, just making that eye contact, making sure you're engaged with them with your eyes. Lack of eye contact can show disinterest, as well as, it can sometimes make people feel uncomfortable. It just makes them wonder what's going on. What are you thinking about? Why are you not engaged in the process? And then simply just your presence. Sitting with your chest forward or open shows more of an openness to the interview process. If you're, doing one of these, kind of getting really comfortable, putting your legs up, crossing your legs, just lounging, to a degree, just kind of shows a lack of professionalism. You want to present yourself in the best light, so you want to be engaging, approachable, being more open in your chest and your arms compared to more closed off and hunched over. Simple little fixes can show that person interviewing that you are here for the job, you want the job, and you're engaged in the communication. All right, and so my last point, and there could be hundreds, I could go on for days and days and days, but I try to keep it to about 10 minutes. My last point, though, has to do with details and listening. A lot of times nowadays, we listen in order to respond instead of listening to engage and understand. And that is so important when you're getting asked interview questions, because a lot of us might get it in our head. They're going to ask X, Y, and Z, and they're going to expect A, B, and C as the answer. It's much more important to really prep yourself for what could happen, but in the moment, really take the time to listen. Don't be afraid to clarify. If they ask you a question and you think you might know what they're asking but not 100% sure, you can ask them to clarify or, rephrase the question if needed. It's much better that you take the time to digest the question, listen to it to understand it, take a breath, and respond. It's much better that you're responding honestly and with great detail and specifically answering what it is they're looking for than to either give them a generic cookie cutter answer because you think that's what they want to hear or answer because you want to fill the space. A lot of us have discomfort when it comes to awkward silences. For someone like me, I love them. I could sit there and be awkwardly silent with somebody for a long time and I don't feel anxiety from it. However, it's okay to feel a little bit anxious in those awkward silent moments, if you want to call them that. It's much better that you take the time, you take a breath, think, digest what they asked, and then give a response. And don't be afraid to follow up. If I give an answer and I'm like, 2 + 2 is 4, and 4 × 4 is 16, and these are all my answers, does that answer your question? Is there anything else I can provide to you? Does that make sense? Would you like to hear more? You can ask those little follow-up questions. It's okay. You're having a conversation with another human being. It's okay to show a little personality while maintaining professionalism. And it'll make the conversation much more fluid, much more natural, and you're going to be engaging with them in a way that could show them other aspects of who you are as a professional. Your collaboration, your teamwork, your communication style, your willingness to actively listen. So it's all those little things that you can easily work on and practice. It's not going to just happen overnight. You can't just read a book or watch a video and suddenly become a pro at interviewing. It is a continual process. It's something even myself still works on, because it can always be improved. It can always be enhanced. And it's always good to practice things. This is a tool that you can use throughout your entire life. So it's really important to constantly evolve your behavior and your mannerisms and your interviewing skills, because you never know when you're going to have to pull them out of your toolbox. So, if you have any questions or if you want any help, I do get involved with a lot of interview prep. I love it. I love doing it. I love being a part of it. Feel free to reach out to me, leave me a message, leave me some feedback, let me know what's going good, what's not going so great. And I can't wait to talk with you again next week. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.